Hi everybody, it's Christopher and welcome to Life's Not Over, It Just Looks Different on YouTube. It has been one whole year since I started this YouTube channel. And I'll be honest, I really didn't expect to be doing it this long, but I've had so much fun, why not? Now, those of you who watched the video a couple of weeks ago on why I started the YouTube channel, you already know this story, but in case you missed it, one of the reasons I started doing this YouTube channel is because about a year ago, I had recorded a couple of videos of my life with cortical visual impairment and shared them in a Facebook group. The videos were well received and people started asking if they could share them and disperse them to friends and family. But through the Facebook group, it wasn't that easy to do because it was a private group. So I put them up on YouTube for people to be able to access them easily and share them if needed. And then after doing a few of those videos, and in fact, I decided I might as well do a little video on my experience with all of the 10 characteristics of cortical visual impairment. But after having done that, I was having so much fun, I thought, well, why stop? I've got more topics. I've got more things I can address as far as life with sight loss. So that's what I've been doing. And in today's video, I thought I would do a little bit of a year in review, talk about some of the things I've learned, talk about some of the things that have happened because of the channel and because of just being able to put myself out there. But let's take a look at some of the results that have occurred so far. And as you can see here, I've got my ZoomText powered up, so my top half of the screen is magnified wherever my mouse goes, and the lower part is a little smaller than normal. So now I can navigate my way on this sheet. And I'm an old school guy. I like to use spreadsheets to track this sort of thing. I do it very manually, but I also get to track whatever I want to as far as percentages and things too. So it turns out, in fact, that I've actually done 60 videos in the past year, so a little more than one a week. Sometimes I just had an extra topic I wanted to talk about. So 60 videos in the past year, and those 60 videos have been watched over 5,000 times, and I've had 211 subscribers to date. Thank you so much for doing so. I really do appreciate it. All these views, all these subscribers, thank you. This is way more than I expected. I'm glad you're interested. I'm glad these videos mean something. Those 5,000 views have accounted for 171 hours watched. And how do you get to that 171 hours? Well, I've put up almost 7.5 hours worth of content. Because as you know, if you've been watching the videos, some of them are kind of short and sweet. They're only about 5, maybe 10 minutes long because there's not a lot to cover. So I don't stretch out the video just for the sake of stretching it out. So 7.5 hours of videos produced has gotten me these kind of numbers. And I also wanted to know a little bit more. So I looked in and I tracked the top 10 videos that I've produced, and they have accounted for more than 50% of the views, and they've also accounted for 46% of the time watched. And then the top 25 videos that I've done have accounted for this much of the, well, right there, 82% of the total views and almost 80% of the total time watched. When I also wanted to know about the CVI videos themselves. Now, there are the 10 characteristics, and I did a video on my experience with each of the 10 characteristics. But I also kind of, I'm not going to call it cheated. I did it differently. And I did complexity of array and facial recognition, the complexity of faces, as 2 separate videos. So I technically did 11 videos. And those 11 videos accounted for about 40% of the total views and almost 40% of the time watched. It was really interesting to me that in the top 10 videos that I've done, not all of them are about the CVI. There's the accessibility for people on public transit, which I'm glad has been a popular topic because it's important. If you can't drive, accessibility on public transit becomes really important. And for those of you who've been regular viewers of the channel, you also know that I've done a couple of videos where I've just answered questions that I've received about my life with sight loss and about my life with CVI. And so one of those videos snuck its way into the top 10 videos watched as well. In fact, I have to say that one of the most rewarding and feel-good parts of doing this channel for me is when people who work with kids with CVI or parents who have kids with CVI tell me that my explanation of something in one of these videos has meant something to them or clued them into something that maybe their child is doing and they weren't sure why. And when experts in the field have asked for permission to use my videos to teach a class or something like that, I cannot tell you how good that feels and how thankful I am for their support and the fact that it actually resonates and felt that it was meaningful enough that they felt they could share it with their class. One of the other things that has come out of this, and not just the videos themselves, just being able to put myself out there talking about my life with CVI, is I've met other adults. And not to take away from anything from the kids, but the kids are in a unique situation because they're born with it, so they didn't necessarily have to adjust to a sudden change to life with CVI. But for those who have had to experience a change in their life, going from better eyesight before and now having CVI after some form of an injury like the stroke that I experienced, it's really meant a lot to me to be able to talk to people who have also acquired CVI. One lady in particular that I met probably a little more than a year ago now. She and I have talked quite often over the past year and a bit because she has struggled. She has struggled with it. She was doing very well in her career, very successful, and had a stroke and acquired CVI, and now she has struggled. She's still sort of adjusting and learning. And she told me very recently that even the title of my book, Life's Not Over, It Just Looks Different, the title of the YouTube channel, and even seeing it in my email address, which, by the way, if any of you want to send me an email with a comment or a question about life with CVI or my experience with sight loss or anything like that, or a comment or a question about the videos, Christopher@lifesnotover.ca is the email address. I'll drop that in the comments below so that people can see that. By all means, reach out. I'm happy to hear from you. This lady told me that when she saw my email address, Christopher@lifesnotover, it rang a bell for her because she's like, wow, it told her that she has to go on. That even though she's struggling and she's fighting CVI and she's experienced depression and she's experienced all those things, and I did too. And as I've told her, she's only been in this condition or been in this experience for less than 3 years. I've had almost 16 years of practice at it now, so I'm a little further ahead in my journey. But I too experienced all of those reactions. I went through depression. I've had the anger. I've had all of those phases. I've been angry. I've been sad. I've been depressed. I've been just beaten down by this at times. But I like to think that was a long time ago and that I don't get beaten down by it anymore, because I know where I'm at. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of, and I know how I'm moving forward with my life with CVI. Others have to figure it out for themselves, but one of the things that I'm thankful for is that because I've been able to put myself out there and people get to know me and know about me and my life with CVI, they're reaching out. And that means a lot, that they're reaching out to want to talk about it. And they want to talk with me because, well, they feel like I get it. And I like to think that I do. That doesn't mean my journey is exactly the same. I really, really try hard to avoid using the phrase, I know how you feel, because I don't. I don't know how they feel. I know what I felt. I know I was sad. I know I was angry. I know I was depressed. But I don't know how they feel. So I try not to use that phrase. but I do like to think that I can listen from a point of understanding that some of what I'm hearing from them is the same. And I feel it because I did go down some of those similar paths. So being able to have those discussions has really meant a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to them as well. Talking a little bit more about the channel, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, I did a video on why I started the channel, and in there I talked a little bit about buying some equipment like a ring light and a tripod and a microphone that would help me out to produce a little bit better quality videos as opposed to the handheld videos I started with when I first put up a couple of videos. One of the other things I did was watch other people on YouTube who they are full-time YouTubers. This is their full-time job. Now, it's not my goal to be a full-time YouTuber. That's not what I want to do. That's not why I started doing this. I'm just having fun. But I wanted to learn from those people who do this as a full-time job, some of the things that they do, and maybe pick up a few tips and tricks so that I can do my videos better or make them resonate with people more. That was part of my goal of watching and learning from some of the other people who do this for a living. So it's been a year on this YouTube channel. It's been a year talking about my life with sight loss and occasionally going off onto other tangents, other topics like things I like about Canada or talking about my cats. Occasionally I've gone off on other tangents because that was an idea that was in my head at that time. What does the next year hold in store? I don't know that yet. There's going to be more sight loss topics for sure because it does affect pretty much everything I do in my life. But I'm probably going to do more videos on just having fun. Because if you've been watching some of my other videos, you know that my motto is I'm on this planet for fun. So that means a lot to me to be able to do that and share that. And that's part of why I do this channel. That is everything I wanted to share today in the 1-year anniversary of this YouTube channel. Thank you so much to everyone who has been watching these videos, who has subscribed to the channel, who's clicked like down below to let YouTube know that you like these videos. That means a lot as well. And I'm really glad. I really appreciate and I'm really glad that it has meant something to you, that you've watched these videos, that you've shared them with others. Those of you that have done that, thank you so much. It means a lot. And I'm glad you've come back for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.